We're live.
Sorry we're late, guys. It is my fault. I was coaching a class and it ran a little late. So we're here. We're ready.
It's all good.
I have a strict 1 hour cutoff today. Okay.
Works for me. Good with that. Need to get in bed. Anyways. Good. Sleepy.
Mama Young was upset last time. She probably mad at me saying that, but she was.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We all still go there.
Yep.
Happy wife, happy life.
How's the little girl doing?
Great. She's doing great. She's growing. Her belly is so big. Like I'm waiting on it to like go to the rest of her.
Yeah.
But right now it just seems like her belly is just getting bigger and bigger. But other than that, she's doing great.
How old is she now?
Sleeping pretty good.
She is 2 days from 1 month old.
Wow.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, it goes by so fast, man.
I'll be excited when she starts like moving around, doing some things. Mm-hmm. When she's like actually, something has a personality.
Once they smile, dude, that changes.
Yeah. Once you like start like having feelings.
Yes. They're so cute. I'll start smiling and stuff.
But no, I'm starting to like her a little bit more. More good. How about you guys? How are you? How are things? How are kids?
I took Titus to Sky Zone for the first time today, so
How old is Titus?
he'll be 3 in like 3 weeks.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's scary.
He loved it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he did, but that's scary.
He's not much of a daredevil. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're having a hard time potty training him, and I think it's literally because he's so scared to fail that he won't do it. Whereas, like, he knows what he can do in his diaper, and it's normal and it's routine because he's smart. Like, we've done things like, dude, you're smart, but you're just choosing not to do this.
Yeah.
So, but he's like that at the place too. Like, he wanted to see me do everything before he even tried something.
Yeah.
But he eventually did it. So it was
yeah,
cool.
that's okay, man. They my mom was 19 and I was a baby, and they told her that I was retarded because I didn't want to move. No, this is a true story. If she's watching it, like she told me this, so like I don't know if they were joking or not, but I believe that it's a true story. But I like to put rocks in my diaper, and I didn't want to move. I was very content. Like if I was playing with a toy, I would just play with that one toy forever. I didn't want to do anything else. That's all I wanted to do. Like I was late crawling. I was late walking. I was late doing everything. And then finally my mom was worried about me. Again, this is a story from them. My mom was worried about me. Thought I might have had a bit of the tism. And then my dad was like, he's fine. He's fine. Just watch this. And then he put a little Cheerio trail. And I was like, oh. And I started crawling in this, getting these Cheerios. And then he put it on a chair. I pulled myself up to get this Cheerio out of this chair. And everything was fine. Yeah. I was just hungry. So all that to say is Titus going to be all right. He'll figure out how to go to the bathroom. It'll be all right.
I'm not worried about him. The doctors will give you all of our checkups we did, like all the milestones, and Brock, you could probably talk to this too. Like, they make you think your kid might be slightly autistic at every single one. So.
Okay. Yeah, but what's annoying is like with body training, like everybody you talk to, they have the secret. Like they know what's best for your kid, And it's so annoying. It's like, look, this is the route that we're going, and we're gonna stick with what we're doing.
Dude, when
if it doesn't work, then I'll call you.
When people give us so like I'm like the head coach of the gym. I kind of manage the gym, right? Like I'm like what I put the schedule out, I put the workouts out, like what I say goes, right? And I cannot wait for people to start giving me parenting advice. Then I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna stop you right there. And then they're gonna be like, oh, you already have somebody that's like helping you out. I was like, no, I just wanted to stop you. And then I'm gonna walk away. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
Like I don't mind taking advice if I ask for it. You know what I mean? But I don't love when people
you ask for it.
Yeah. But I don't love when people are like, hey, this is what you should do. Take my advice. This is what you should do. Okay. Thanks. Now I'm gonna do the opposite of that because you just pissed me off.
Yeah.
You know what I've learned, especially with my girls, and this could be just because they're girls, but I'm talking about my my middle-aged women, but I call them my girls, not my actual girl. But if I want to fix something, unless it's like obviously like a cue to a lift or anything like that, but like if they're like, you know, something's going on, we're emotional or whatever, I'm like, you want to talk about it, or do you just want to put your head down and do something? And like give them like options, and then they will vent to you if they want to vent to you, or they will ask for advice if they want to ask for advice. But like the second that I try to like assume something, I don't want it. And it's a bad time.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, and it's really, dude, it's great because, dude, like I have such a trust with them that like they'll be like, it's like I'm on my period right now. I just wanna do something to make me sweat. And I was like, cool, I'll give you something to make you sweat. Go on your way. Let me know when you're done. You know what I mean? Like today's not a day for a proper stimulus or like to hurt, right? Or you know, any type of goal. We're just sweating, right? Other days, like I want to destroy myself. I'm like, all right, we're gonna destroy it. You know what I mean? Like so. It's just communication. But if people operated that like with everybody about everything, I think life would be a better place. But now I don't operate like that unless I have like a relationship with somebody, though. You know, it's not to say like, but I'm not a big people person. I feel like I don't talk to somebody unless they talk to me first. I think I'm the most extroverted introvert there is. Is that a fair thing to say?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand small talk. I don't want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Like I just want to do whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? If I have something in my head. But okay, next topic. You think Luka Doncic is going to be a difference maker? Like, I think that's going to go good.
You want to talk about that or the Super Bowl, man?
I don't want to talk about Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
I don't talk about Super Bowl. I think y'all sound like a bunch of idiots now. That's what I think. It's rigged. It's rigged. The NFL wants the Chiefs to win. I know, Teddy. It pisses me off too. No, I hope y'all are happy. Right now, we got freaking. I don't know. I think. I don't want to talk about it.
Them boys
Clearly, I wanted the Chiefs to win, and it was terrible.
I would have preferred a better game. I'll be honest.
Dude, there was a point where it was 21-0 or 20-0, whatever it was. And I I told Leslie, I was like, all right, here it comes. The Chiefs got the ball, and then they were going to get the ball at 3 minutes left, second quarter, and they were going to get the ball at halftime. And I'm like, here it comes. Like, it's going to be a touchdown, 14-21. Eagles will do something, and then Mahomes is going to do something in the fourth quarter. It's going to be magical. And I remember, I don't know. We're spoiled with Brady because he would do these things, and Mahomes usually does these things, and it just never happened. 3 and out, or another interception, second throw of that drive.
Big,
no, the first one was a pick six. This was the second one. and just never happened. Never happened. I didn't watch it all. After the third, midway through the third quarter, I was like, all right, I'm done. And I went upstairs and I played Black Ops.
You're an Xbox.
Is Black Ops good?
So me and my wife made a deal. I don't know what time my wife. Me and Leslie made a deal. She wanted to get rid of my car. That's what she prefaced it with. She's a little sneaky when she was like, I think you should get a new car. And I was like, okay, I can get down with that. I drive like a junker car. That's fine. And I'm really not kidding. I haven't played games in 10 years. Since freshman year of college, I haven't played Xbox. It was sneaky, babe. And I was like, okay. And then I'm not a big car guy, but my dream car is a Maserati. Again, but I'm not a car guy. Like I'm not a big but I just like the way they look. I like the little Trident. And I found a 2017 Maserati for under $20,000. And I was like, it's great. Like all day, right? And then she said, oh, no, I was just thinking you could have my old car and then I could get a new car. And I was like, okay, so this wasn't about me at all. This wasn't about me at all. This was
come on, you know better than that.
But 100% about her. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. But it was 100% how does she get a new car? And she didn't, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to be sneaky about it. And then we made the compromise. I will take her old car. She can get her whatever car she wants. But I get an Xbox and 2 games. That's what the deal we made. And then
that's a solid deal.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I have not played Xbox, or I haven't played video games a very long time. And I was like, I don't know if I'll still be into it. I don't know if the games are really different now, right? They don't use disc anymore. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to buy the game? I went to Walmart, and I went to the video game section. There's not any video games there. I was like, they don't have them on the things where you used to walk in the aisle. And I was like, how does this even work? And I didn't know what to buy. And then, turns out it's super easy. You just download it on the thing. And I was like, okay, this is what we do now. But I had to it felt very old. Felt like an old man because I didn't know how to operate it at all. Daniel has brothers, so he's played video games a little bit. But later in life than later in the years, not later in life, but
I feel like they're operating in Chinese when they're playing half the time.
Right, but I remember you had 2K when I wasn't playing anymore. I had not played games anymore. I remember going to Tennessee and you had Madden.
Yeah, that was my freshman year of college.
Well, I'm saying I wasn't playing games anymore. I didn't have I'm saying you have played sooner, not a lot sooner, but later. Yeah. Anyway, turns out I still like it. I played the Black Ops campaign in 1 week. And Madden's great. I've already created my own team, and I'm on in the franchise, in the year 3 of my franchise. So, it's just a good time killer. I'll say that it's good. It's good, and I got a system. Abby likes it whenever I have 2 pillows. There's a slight slant, and she's right here, and knees up. If I put knees down, for some reason, there's a difference in that. Even though she's right here, and she's just straight quiet. She will go to sleep, and then and then we're comfortable. We're comfortable doing that. So it's a good time killer. But I got to be careful. You can't let that be a thing that takes too much time than it needs to.
I used to be a little gamer. Ooh, Palisades.
Cool contribution, Brock.
Had to throw my 2 cents in.
My wife games more than me now.
Really?
Yeah.
What does she play?
She plays. There was this Hogwarts game that came out, the story. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed, but Hogwarts version of it. She played that for a while, and then she plays Fortnite every now and then.
I think we should. Do you have an Xbox?
Yeah.
I think we should download 2K10 and play against each other.
Dude, you'd wipe the floor with me still.
I haven't played 2K in 10 years.
I haven't either.
I'm pretty sure you beat me with Ty Lawson in the Nuggets.
Yes. Dude,
Freaking Ty Lawson was unstoppable.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. That's why I said we should do 2K10. Like, let's not try to relearn how to play.
Yeah.
I think if we try to relearn how to play, like I'll get it before you. But and then we'll just there'll always be this little gap. I was at 2K10. Okay. I'll be the 94, 95 Magic, and you can be the Nuggets of right then. And it's a very fair matchup. Those games were epic. I remember losing on a buzzer beater. It was heartbreaking. And we could just play online against each other. They can do that now. The kids do that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I refuse to get into Fortnite.
I did for a little bit as like a little, social thing, and then I was like, I don't really want to build, and all these people are just like, Miranda's better than me at Fortnite because he just starts like button spamming everything and building all around her when someone shoots at her. I'm like, this stinks. I can't ever kill you. So
yeah, I have no problem being an old man with certain things. I was when TikTok came out, I'm like, nope, not doing it. Fortnite came out, nope. I don't care. I don't care to even know what it is. That kid made like $20 million winning the Fortnite championship or whatever. And I'm like, that's cool for that kid. I don't care.
Yeah, good for him. All right, Brock, what are we rolling with today, man?
You want to start with your question from last week?
Oh, yeah, sure. Guess we can talk about that for a little bit. Let me pull it up. All right. I said something along these lines, but how does being a slave to Christ practically change our lives through the decisions we make, i.e., who we date / marry, what careers we may pursue, approach to raising children, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, I think it's everything. I think it affects everything. Who you marry is pretty much your entire life that it's affecting, and then how you raise your children, on the same level. Not as far as like who you love the most, but on the same level of importance, I feel. Who you marry, this is who you're. I remember, I don't know if we had this conversation, Daniel, or maybe it was with Brad, or I don't remember who it was with, but might have been with Miranda's dad. I don't remember. I don't remember who the conversation was with, but it was during that time that if you are marrying somebody that you think will lead you, like, do you think that you are dating somebody? Because I went on a lot of different dates that led you closer to God or led you further away from God, and if it's further away from God, it's a very slippery slope thinking that you're going to change them or like win them over. It's not about leading them to Christianity. Obviously you can do that, but like putting your heart in that person in turn can corrupt you, if you will. Think Samson. Samson's a great example. You know what I mean? Like, he's not supposed to get with the Philistines, but there was this beautiful Philistine honey that wanted Samson. And Samson was like, yes, ma'am. And then look at him. Look what happened, right? The same thing can be applied to people that you're dating or choose to marry. that don't share the same values as you do. And then, I mean, that can lead to even how you raise your kids. If you don't share the same values with that person, how do you think you're going to be on the same ground or equal footing, or even approach talking about it with how you raise your kids? So I think it affects your walk with Christ affects everything you do in your life and how you approach it. But marriage and raising your children, I think, are the most important of those things, because it will lead you further away from God or lead you closer to God. And then you should look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're doing the same. And obviously, that's not to guilt trip anybody. I think everybody falls short of this one way or the other. But just knowing that you are called to lead your family closer to God. Like, are you doing that? Like, and you can think, I mean, guilt might be the wrong word, but what's a better word? What's a better word for that? Conviction.
Yeah. Okay.
And that conviction will not be there if you surround yourself with people that don't have the same values.
Yeah. Yeah. No, marriage in particular, you mentioned, like, obviously our relationship with Christ is first and foremost, but marriage is about as close of one we can get on this earth. So yeah, there's a reason why we're not supposed to be unequally yoked. As you said, sharing your heart with that person, just doing life day in, day out. Dude, with kids changes the game, man. Once you got, like, I'm glad Miranda's awesome, and I was really lucky finding her. But I didn't really know what was, like, we talked about some, but I didn't really know to the extent exactly where we were with certain things. But once you get rolling, there's a lot of decisions that come to head really fast. Brock, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I would, especially like y'all were saying, especially with marriage and especially being the man, because like John was saying, we are called we're the leaders of our family. So, we're going to be accountable for how we led our families, and if we're going to be held, if we're going to be held accountable for how we're leading our families, then we have to lead them through Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to keep that in our head with every decision. Like, hey, is this gonna point them closer to the Lord, or is this gonna put a wedge in between them, or give them a good example of how to follow the Lord? Because obviously, what's your oldest, Daniel?
He's almost 3.
3. Well, yeah, that's right. Because both of us have really close ages. So, like, yeah, it's a little. I'd say it hadn't really went into full effect yet, I guess. But they're still, like, they're starting to get to the point where, he notices how Daddy treats Mommy, or he notices things. You know what I'm saying? And that I think that starts a lot earlier than we think it does. You know.
Or picks up on, like, words you say.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Dude, my father-in-law, so Titus was kind of a late talker. Titus is my eldest, for those that don't know. And he didn't really say much initially, but I would speak to him like almost, maybe not quite like an adult, but like I'd approach him like I would want to be approached in a lot of ways of like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. Let's go, type of thing. Or this is why you're getting disciplined. This is why this is happening, etc. And he was surprised because Titus would sit there, look at me, and understand the whole conversation and not be able to say anything besides like ba ba da, like, or anything like that, and he's just going doing the thing. So absolutely, with stuff that you say early on, they're sponges, man. I don't think I realize how much they pick up. It's crazy. He's saying gee whiz all the time now. I say gee whiz too much, so issue. So.
You should just say I am Groot a lot. And then, like, maybe for like 1 month, all he said was I am Groot, and it would be the greatest month of all time.
Dude, Mark comes up with these weird nicknames. He's like my dad, but comes up with these weird nicknames for my kids. But Titus was Ty Get Money for whatever reason. So Mark would say that all the time around him, and eventually he was walking around the house saying "Get money."
That's terrible.
Yeah. It was funny though. It was cute.
Yeah. Do
What's
you
your
guys
take on like? Go ahead.
y'all plan on homeschooling your kids
Yes, actually, that's
Some-
part of
at some point.
at some point?
I don't know how early. It really depends on where we are financially. Right now we wouldn't be able to afford it where we're living right now. But that's our goal. Like that would be nice.
To high school, Daniel?
Yeah, that'd be the goal. And I think that kind of goes back to a little bit. I'm not saying like plenty of great Christian folks that raise their kids in different ways, but framing it through the lens that we were talking about, like every decision that you make, like, do I care if he's got a good life or if he's healthy or if he's smart? Yeah, I want all that for him. But does it ultimately matter? Not at all. Like what really ultimately matters is if he knows Jesus. So every decision that we make as parents should be framed from that mindset of, hey, I care about your spiritual health more than anything else. So am I willing to do certain things, sacrifice to make that the most important thing, the most paramount thing?
I had a question for you. Say I'm in agreement with you. I would love to. I think me and Leslie are on the same page with this. We want to homeschool until high school. I just see how like you and Sarah are, and like, you know, y'all two were the closest ones of your family that I was with, and I'm like that's how I want to do it. You know what I mean? You know, Sarah's so grounded and so, you know, just knows who she is. I would never worry about Sarah and boys or anything like that, just because of how confident she is in herself and her relationship with Christ, and just, you know what I'm saying? And then when I can't imagine how like proud might be the wrong word, but like that Sarah is how she is as a woman in today's society, or like going like just not worry so much. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of how I think about it for Abby. And I just think that's the way to do it. I know y'all are a little awkward out the gate, but you know, that's fine. That's fine, dude. You know, that's fine. You don't need to be like, it's fine. But that's how we want to do it too. And then high school, it's a good time to start socializing. But I guess my question for you is, you go to college and your kid says that they don't want to be Christian anymore. How would you approach that? God willing, that doesn't happen, but like it's something that I think about.
Yeah. Like, and just how I operate with them, you're saying?
What would your reaction be?
I mean, obviously heartbroken, but I think we're given a fairly good example of what our heart should be.
With the prodigal son, I get it, but I think it's a lot easier to read than to be.
Oh, yeah. Most of what Jesus said is a lot easier to read than to be.
That's fair. That's fair. I think about things like that all the time. Like, could I be able to handle this, or how would I react with this? And I probably shouldn't, but my mind tries to prepare me for like just bad things that can happen. I don't know if that's healthy or not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's healthy either.
Well, I think it could be healthy if you use that as fuel to make sure that you're putting in that much more effort to raise them.
There's only so
in the
much
way
you
that
can
they
do,
should
though,
go.
Brock.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
No,
you
I
can
agree
do
with that.
everything correct, and then they have to
I
find that
agree.
way for themselves. Like they have to accept
Sure.
Jesus for them. You can't accept Jesus for them, and that's something really hard to accept.
Oh, yeah. It was the same way with me. I mean, my parents did all the right things, and I took my own path for I don't know 3, 4, 5
For a
years.
minute.
Yeah.
And you got tired of being fat.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, bro.
I don't know. I like the fat jokes now. They don't offend me no more.
Fat with sin.
There you go, man. You got to figure out some phrase to make it like actually put it on a shirt or something.
Yeah, from sin to truth. Like, I don't know what you would do. Calorically filled sin to healthy, washed.
The sin's your ultra processed food, man. That just tastes good, but it burns you. It kills you.
I don't know,
Sin
man.
to
I mean,
thin. That's good.
oh, sin to thin's good. Sin to thin's good.
That's funny.
We say that. I'm still operating on the processed food pretty well. I'm operating.
I hope, John, that you live a ripe old life and that it never catches up to you.
I hope I die at 70. I don't feel that way at all. I think 70 is a good life, and then I want to be out.
Dude, if you can live till 70 years old and you've done whatever you wanted, ate whatever you wanted all your life, you can't ask for more than that.
I don't know about doing whatever you wanted, but eating whatever you wanted, yeah. That's why I'm. Go ahead, Brock. Sorry.
It's a kind of an example, I guess. It's a little different, but like my great grandpa, he passed away when he was 86, and it was from cancer. He loved smoking. He had smoked since he was 14. If I was a smoker and I loved smoking and I died when I was 85 or 86 years old from smoking, I would not care.
Dude,
You know?
dude, my grandma was the same way. She was 92, 88 or 92. She was around there, 88 to 92 in wherever that is. But yeah, like I think she was
Dude, they were built
33. So I remember she was born during the Great Depression. so
Gee whiz.
and don't say that, Daniel. Yeah, I probably should stop saying retarded. While we're at it, I say that a lot, like on air.
Dude, there's a lot of people that take offense to it.
I'm surprised you haven't been trying to be canceled for that.
No, not at all. Just saying Big Mama. Yeah. Dude, I told somebody to go have sex with their brother, and I didn't get canceled for that.
Oh, I heard that one. That one was the one that got me. I was like, whoa, chill out, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I felt bad about that one. Sometimes like I'll say it's rare, but it does happen. Sometimes you just get on a roll, you're passionate, you're in it, and then you say something, you're like, oh, that was I probably should have said that one. And then other times you have no idea. You didn't say anything bad, and they just want to be mad. Grandma Alice, the one that smokes. What are you talking about? You know which one. Yeah, that was a dumb question. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie's on it. Grandma Georgia smokes. Like we're talking about. Okay, it's fine. That was mean.
Georgia? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I like that name.
Okay, so I mixed the two. They're 81. She was 81.
99. Gee, you guys got some serious. I know. I almost did it again. You guys got
Gee
some
whiz.
genes.
Yeah, but not like Grandma Alice. Grandma, like Grandma House is what like how Brock said. Like just every single day since 14 forever.
Ripping sticks, huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, Grandma
Dude, that's
House
what's
was
so
old,
crazy.
man.
Like if you like when you really think about it, so like all like great grandparents and all that, like they based off of health standards, they didn't eat healthy at all as far as your standards of health. Like
Dude.
everybody thinks fatbacks bad, this and that, but everything they ate was homegrown. Like it was all real. Like they might have been eating biscuits and gravy, but it was real flour, real butter, real eggs. You know what I mean? Like
my favorite clip. I don't know if you guys have seen this clip, but this girl is like 114 or 113. One of the oldest people in America. And she's getting interviewed by a news reporter. And she drinks 3 Dr. Peppers a day. And every day, she drinks 3 Dr. Peppers. And she goes, I've had 4 doctors tell me that I shouldn't drink Dr. Pepper. And I've outlived them all. It's amazing. It's amazing.
dude,
It's so funny.
Is she overweight?
No, skinny woman. Yeah. That's why I want to get into cycling, though. Like hardcore get into it. Like this is what I do. Probably not outside, but just like every day in my trainer, like racing people virtually. There's a thing for that. That way, like I can continue to eat how I want to eat and still and not get overweight. Because the second like I stop working out a lot, like it's gonna blow up, and I know that. But like if I just get into cycling, the cycling is something I can do at a really old age. And then me and Leslie will take a vacation to France once the kids are 18, and I will go up one of those mountains by myself, and it'll be like my middle age crisis, midlife crisis. Is that
specific?
Stop. She's being really mean right now. Y'all don't understand what she's saying, but she's being really mean right now.
Are you just gaining weight still, man?
No, I'm not. I'm 207 still.
Hey, that's part of the job, right?
I got to 207 so fast that it was alarming, like within like 3 weeks. But when I put my profile in for this thing, they take like your weight affects how fast you can go up certain gradients, right? It hits you harder, right? So like if we're going up a mountain, Daniel, Leslie would beat you. It doesn't matter how good of a shape you're in because you're 240 freaking pounds. And gravity hits that a lot harder than it does 120. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Leslie is pedaling at like 40 RPMs and she's going 6 miles an hour. And I can be pedaling at 70 RPMs and I'm going 3 miles an hour. And it's just not fair. But that's how much weight makes a difference when you go up a mountain.
Yeah.
Not just like real life, that would happen too. That's why the smaller you are, the better you are. And when I made my guy, and again, I wasn't 207 yet. I was like 204. I just put him in at 200. Because I'll get small again. And then she gives me like a lot of crap about it, even though she's real mean about it. Says it every time she wants to. I was excited about that bench press, and I posted that bench press. I posted it, and she commented on there. That 207's really helping out. Like that's just can't give me credit for anything. Just tries to make me feel bad 24/7.
She's your pride check, right?
Yeah, but she's a little too good at it sometimes. Sometimes she needs to chill out a little bit. I think she's mad, like secretly mad, not actually mad, but she told me, she goes, I did 7 squats today and it was hard. And then, and I was like, all right, well, that's better than nothing. Right. And then she was like, yeah, but like, I think I need to start squatting to get like my body back, right? Like, and I kind of like looked at her and I'm like, all right, well, keep squatting. And then I walked away. She was so mad. She just gives me this look, and it just makes my day. It's so fun. But I feel like she gets the same feeling when she makes fun of my weight.
Yeah, if you said that, you kind of deserved it. Sorry.
Yeah, but she's equally as mean. Okay, so I don't. This is a battle right now in the young household.
There's a lot of hormones going on that aren't going on with you, cuz.
I think I have the hormones. I think my extra weight is making more hormones happen.
Oh man,
dude, it's so funny. Like half the guys. Speaking of hormones, and we'll get back on track. Half of the guys at my gym are on something. Like they're all 40 in their 40s, and half of them are on testosterone, and a quarter of them are on like a lot of stuff. And it's so funny the ups and downs that they take in their like feelings. Like this one guy in particular, he hasn't been doing very good in any of his workouts like for like a week. And I'm like, it's all right, man. You just gotta get back on the horse and just keep working hard. Like stuff will happen. And he goes, well, I'm just a week off testosterone. That's it. And I was like, well, I mean, you gotta operate somehow, man. You can't just depend on testosterone shots your whole life. And he's like, well, I'll get back on it in a week. And then and I'm like, all right. And then a week later, just came in, guns a blazing, just firing off, be like, I feel good today, man. And I was like, did you get back on testosterone? He's like, yeah, I did. I'm ready to rock the world. And I'm like, you're so messed up, man. You're effing yourself up so bad. And he just doesn't care. Doesn't care at all. Yeah, that's something I don't think I'll ever do. I think you mess up. What?
Testosterone, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I think even if I'm low, like I think you mess up your hormones permanently when you do that. Because then your body won't want to create testosterone for itself because it's used to getting all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I think if you get on it, you need to plan on being on it, like long term.
Yeah, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger said that he's only ever done one steroid cycle his whole life, but that steroid cycle lasted 20 years.
I was about to say, I was like, I hope that's where you're going with it.
No, dude, it's one of the greatest quotes of all time. Like for like a bodybuilder, like he's just he's proud of what he's done. He doesn't lie about what you got to do it, right? I think it's one of the funniest quotes of all time. But like, I just think like the second you dabble in anything like for real, like affecting your hormones, you're messing yourself up for good. Because the second you get off, it will not be the same.
Yep.
It's like heroin, but how your body functions.
Well, that's the argument with even things as simple as melatonin, dude.
Dude, melatonin. I stopped doing things with melatonin.
Yeah.
I have Third Z, who is melatonin free. They sponsor the show.
There you go. All right, Brock. Before we get to our hour mark, we got to dive into the topic. So let's roll.
Yep.
She's in the comments, so I think we might be all right.
One thing before we do that.
That means baby's asleep.
I like this. Let's address this for a second.
Okay.
I was listening to debates on pornography and couldn't help think about the pros and the cons were so similar to tobacco, recreational drugs, alcohol, etc. These things serve no useful purpose and harm greatly. I've never really thought about it like that. I mean, obviously with drugs and alcohol for sure, but I've never really thought about tobacco like that because I'm a former addict, I guess you could say, for tobacco. I dipped for like I dipped for about 15 years. 14 years.
No, I agree. I put all those in the same category. I think some affect people more than others, depending on like just what you struggle with, right? Like Brock is tobacco, and I know like pretty much half of the men in the world is pornography. It's you should just run away from it all. Like be just Joseph as best as you can. The second you see anything, you should just run away from it. This is something, I used to make fun of Daniel. Like we were in high school, Brock. Daniel couldn't watch certain things. He couldn't watch PG-13 movies. He was like 17, but he couldn't watch PG-13 movies because if they had somebody, Megan Fox and Transformers, okay? I think we all know what I'm talking about. But like if Megan Fox and Transformers, he did not want to be around that because of what it could bring. And I always would make fun of him until like I started trying to run away from it too. And then it was just something like crazy. Just I've always been impressed with his immediate I don't want it. Right. And I could not wrap my head around it for the longest time until it's like, oh, because it's going to make you sin. Like it's so obvious, but it's so silly and it's so small. You don't think about it, but like the slightest hint of any feeling, anything that leads to anything, to Brock, tobacco, if some worker friend of yours puts tobacco in, walk away. Like just don't even be about. I gotta go to the bathroom, or it's any of those things. Drinking's a big one. Some people like you can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the game with your boys because they're gonna drink, and you will drink if you go there, and you can't. You just have to say no to it. What's funny is like CrossFitters. I remember Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's like, you can't do things that all your friends want to do, or like you can't go out at night because you got running intervals in the morning, and you're not going to do them if you go out at night. And it's easy for him to say, no, I can't do that because I have to do this in the morning. He's a games athlete, Daniel, so like he's working out day in, day out. All he wants to do is be the fittest man in the world. It's his passion. It's what he's striving for, right? It's what means the world to him. And it's easy for him to say no to those things, because he knows it will affect his workout the next morning. And as Christians, we should look at anything like that as, anything is going to lead you away from God. Like it's all like what Bernie said is great. It's all going to lead to harm. There's nothing good that comes from it. And you should just run away as fast as you can.
I think too, like I think you can also, because personally, like I've got, like Grant was saying earlier, I've got an addictive personality too, but I still don't really, I guess for me, dipping has never been like a struggle. I mean, yeah, I was addicted to it obviously, but I genuinely enjoyed doing it. And I still, I mean, to be honest, like I miss doing it, and I still like I don't know. I don't personally. I don't know if it's a sin. I don't know. But where I'm going with that is, you can also put that with like not only with tobacco and not only with drugs and alcohol. Dude, and I just my mind just completely went blank. I had something good, but it just completely left me.
It's okay. It happened to me a couple weeks ago.
Let me see if I can get it back. Where was I going?
I don't have really anything to add to what you said, John. I think I would want to be careful about being legalistic about anything, but that's part of being a slave to Christ, is choosing what what is edifying and what is going to help you down the right path versus avoiding what won't. So,
and I think
I know where I was going with
Sorry, Kenneth, you have to wait. Go ahead, bro.
With social media. That's something that I've been struggling with here lately. Is like, dude, quit getting on Instagram and scrolling through reels. Like you're wasting so much time. You know what I mean? Like nothing good. Like, because I'm big on laughing. I love laughing. I love sending funny videos to my friends. I love when they send me funny videos. Like I sent one to John the other day, the Taylor Swift thing. Like that was videos like that, hilarious to me. Love watching them, love laughing. But then afterwards I'm like, dude, you literally, because you never just watch one. And I'm like, dude, you could have just read your Bible for 10 minutes, but you've been scrolling videos for 40 minutes. And now you're going to get up in the morning to do your quiet time and you're going to be tired because you've been scrolling on your phone for 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So I think you can put that in the same category.
I think you took I think you went all if a man just looks at a woman with lust, he's committed it in his heart on the topic. It's not a bad thing, but like you jumped it up a level is all I'm saying. I don't disagree.
There's other people that can, like, I think it's person dependent, because there's other people who it's not a big deal for them to watch one or two videos and just be done with it, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's not in their head like, oh, this is a problem. But a lot of times it's in my head. I'm like, dude, that's not, like we were talking about at the beginning, that's not putting me any closer to God.
I like what Kenneth said here. Anytime you try to justify something you know is bad or sinful, then you know it's gotten out of control. And this is something, and Daniel, you can tell me if I'm wrong. This is something I feel like I used to do all the time, is to justify why, it's all right, man. Like I'd even be like, I'm just figuring it out right now, man. Come on. I can't be like you or Paul right now. Like, you know, and I would 100% agree with Kenneth.
Well, just to give you a little grace there, thank the good Lord that he was still able to use my crap testimony, because I was very, very focused on what you were doing versus where the heart was. So,
well, maybe it needed to be focused on.
Like I said, the Lord used it. So
yeah.
A tree can be identified by its fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Which bleeds into today's topic.
Real quick. Go ahead and answer Garrett for this.
I think so Bernie's comment is that would be the, I guess, actual definition. Giving in to pleasure for some is intrinsically wrong is a crude definition of sin. But I think the only way to truly define what sin is through the Bible. I mean, there's multiple.
Yeah, so like, if to be devil's advocate with this definition, I mean, he does say crude, right? So like, he understands what he's doing. You know, something that's intrinsically wrong to me might not be intrinsically wrong to Hitler. You know what I mean? It wasn't intrinsically wrong to kill every Jew that he saw. That wasn't wrong to him. You don't think that he didn't think he was doing the right thing?
I'm glad I let you finish, because I was like, okay, where's he going with this? But, all right.
Okay, but did you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't use that definition because we all have a different moral compass, right? I think the easy definition, if it's not biblical, if it goes against the Bible, then it's sin. And then there needs to be a hard understanding that, like I'm just gonna say New Testament rules. Is that fair to say?
What do you mean by that?
Because like Old Testament rules, we don't abide by, like we still eat meat. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the right way to word this? Because I used to be like, we don't like abide by the Old Testament, but we abide by the New Testament. But the Old Testament's history, it proves the New Testament. But you know what I'm saying? Can you word this better than that?
Well, the Old Testament was right. God was establishing a form of government. So a lot of those rules were like just for the governing body. It wasn't necessarily what was right versus what was wrong. It was like that was the law of the land.
Which is why the Pharisees were in power.
Yes. So that's a little different. But yes, you don't take every little nitty gritty of, oh, I need to go slaughter this lamb and sprinkle its blood on this thing to not be sinful, because we are in the new covenant. It's different now.
Mm-hmm. Those are rules, if you will. But like the New Testament is how we should live as Christians. And so like I would say if it goes against the Bible in the New Testament, it's sin.
Which the New Testament's really a commentary on the Old. Like I said, and once you dig into it a little more, the Old Testament, a lot of those rules were just
without, if you have a rough understanding, like if you don't have a good understanding of the Bible, though.
Yeah, I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you like, I mean, and again, like you have to know your Bible. You have to be closer. You have to grow that relationship with God, and the only way to do that is to know your Bible. But like if somebody who doesn't have that, like a good knowledge of the Bible, I think that's a rough way to put it. A better rough way to put it, I guess you could say. All right, go ahead. Go to the topic.
So in Matthew 7, it's actually that same chapter, what we were talking about. 21 through 23, I believe is what it is. It is, a lot of Christians will say that it is the scariest verses in Scripture towards believers, and the reason why, we'll read it. You got it pulled up, Daniel?
Yeah, you want 21 through 23?
Yeah, read it if you don't mind.
All right. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven will enter. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name cast out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness.
And right before that, not right before it, but a few verses up in before that, he talks about the narrow gate. In 7:13, he says, "You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for many who chose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only few will ever find it." And then he goes on to talk about, like what we were talking about a minute ago, you can tell a tree by his fruit. And I think that's one thing that scares a lot of people is, so what he's saying is on Judgment Day, there's going to be a lot of people who are arguing, maybe not arguing, but begging, bartering with God, saying, look at all these things that we did. Look at this podcast that I was on. Look at how many Sunday school classes I taught. Look at my D group. Look at this and that. Look at all these things that we did. But he's going to say, but I don't know you. And I think the scary part is, I was listening to something earlier, because I mean, being up front, I struggle with this. Like, I have a hard time. And listening to a podcast on it earlier, the guy was saying, he said, we've got to remember that, these aren't non-believers that are talking. Like, these are well, let me rephrase that. These are people who think that they are in the right. Like they think that they're believers because of the way that they're addressing God. You know, they're calling him Lord. Well, a non-believer, like an atheist or whatever you want to call him, like they're not going to call him Lord when they're questioning him. You know what I mean? Like they know that they're not. They know that they're not. At that time, they know where they're going. They know that they're done, because he said at that time, you know, that's based on the way that they're saying it. He's already given the verdict. He's already said, this is the doorway you're about to go through. Because then they say, but Lord, why? Because we did all these things. We did this, and this. And it can be overwhelming when you think about it, because it's like it makes you check your heart. Like, okay, so am I one of those people, or am I legit? You know, and I think that's why it can be fearful. And that's why it can be scary, because these people clearly thought that they were saved. You know.
Yeah, but believing in God and having a relationship with God are two different things. Even the demons believe in Jesus. You know, do demons have a relationship with God, or do they hate God? They hate God, right? Their sole mission is to turn people away from God, and they believe in God. Having a relationship with Jesus is what gets you into heaven. How do you have that relationship? You truly ask him to take over your life, right? Like you believe that he died on the cross and that he is the one God, and you are a slave to him, right? And that doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. That doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, right? But you like realize, or you are like I'm trying to get away from the phrase ask him into your heart, because that's the phrase everybody uses. You're like, well, what does that really mean? Like you understand that like Jesus is the head of your life. Like he is everything. It's not just believing in him. You want him to run how you do things, right? And how do you have a relationship with him? You pray and you read your Bible, and you try to operate on that as best as you can. And again, you are not perfect, but just doing things, being a good person, going to church is not a relationship with God. It's day in and day out, taking up your yoke, asking him, what do I do with this? And whatever clarity you get, go forth.
There's always for me, it's hard to differentiate between, you know, obviously it's clear we're saved by grace, right? Through faith. It's not of ourselves. It's a gift of God. Ephesians 2:8. But a true believer will have a heart that's changed and will exhibit works that show that changed heart. And then we'll grow to more want the things of God.
You'll be convicted.
Yes, yeah, convicted. And like Leslie was right. Johnny did just preach on this a couple weeks ago, but Johnny said something that I thought was interesting. He was quoting someone else, but basically like the I'm gonna butcher the quote, but like the gist of it was you're not enjoying sin. Like sin is tearing your bones apart type of thing. If you're enjoying sin and your heart is bent towards seeking that, now we have the flesh we're struggling with, but if your heart is bent towards seeking that, then yeah, we need to examine ourselves. We need to look inward and see if we've been really saved. So I'm with you, Brock. This passage is terrifying, regardless, because like the stuff they mention in it, and this is where I think it's so key to know like how are we saved? It's through God alone. It's not anything we do, because the stuff that is mentioned in that, these dudes are performing miracles. Like I never performed a miracle, so what type of playing field do we have here? So. Yeah, no, it's scary. And I think there's passages all over the Bible about this. There's some in James, Philippians. Paul says, "Work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God that is work. It is God that is at work in you." So it's like there's these two things going on, right? God is at work, but then our lives show what that work is. Sorry, I kind of got on that tangent.
I would say like a constant submission to Him, though, will lead to you don't gotta worry about it. If you live in constant submission, like you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, because if you're in constant submission and you love Him, then you're seeking His will.
Right. Which way easier said than done.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. I did 100 bar facing burpees in under 5 minutes. I think that was a miracle. I'm just saying. I think God was at work there. I don't think it'll ever happen again.
Well, good for you. One of us has done a miracle.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just letting you know.
That quote, Leslie, that was R.C. Sproul. One of them was, and I thought that was interesting. Where he says, basically, like if you're struggling with assurance, he asks, "Do you love Jesus perfectly?" No. Do you love Jesus the way you want to? No. Do you love Jesus at all? If the answer is yes, then you know that, hey, as a worldly man, slave to sin, I cannot love the things of God. So therefore, I must be saved. But that love too is like what John 14:15. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So it's tree bearing fruit right before that Matthew passage, right before 7:21. It must have been a miracle, man.
It'd be like you running at the combine if you ran like a 4.4.
That would be a miracle.
Like you would be like, I don't know how.
Yeah,
that just happened.
That would have been a miracle for sure.
4.49.
Dude, 4.59 would have been a miracle.
Broggy was so slow.
I was so slow.
Oh man, it's funny. We can make fun of it now. I felt crushed for you in that moment.
Dude, it was needed. I was crushed too, but thank the good Lord it happened because that just shook up my world. So
I felt for you.
Appreciate it, man.
I didn't know what to text you. I don't think I texted you. I was wrestling if I should text you or not. And I feel like I don't think I ended up texting you. But
I think we did text. I think you kind of pissed me off, I'll be honest.
Oh no. What did I say?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I was not in a good headspace. So
It probably something along the lines of "go screw your brother" or something.
No.
You really screwed the pooch on this one, bud.
No, dude, I felt so devastated for him. Like because I know what it meant. No, it would have been like, I don't know. I don't even know what it would have been other than it's okay. I don't think I would have been like a smart aleck in that moment.
I think I was trying to rationalize it a little bit because I was hurt at the time, but I think you were like honest with it. Like, yeah, you might be hurt, but your time is still your time. And I was like, well, you stink, which even though you're right. So
Yeah,
No, I get it. No, I know that. No, if something bad happens, like I don't want to hear anything from anybody. Like I don't. There's nothing anybody can say that I'm not going to be mad. Just leave me alone. I remember Leslie tried to like say something like that one time, and I was like really down on myself. I don't remember the situation, but I was like, "Go away, right now." like she was like, "Got it." Never came to support me ever again after that. Like when I'm down, I'm like, "I'll be good. Just let me just sit in my failure for a minute."
all right, well, we're hitting your time cap. We're past your time cap, so I want to keep Leslie happy. Brock, you got something to leave us with?
I don't know. She liked that. Whoa. I think we can keep going.
You might want to go into the other room and ask before off camera.
I hear us. She's listening to us. I hear us. I think she's fine.
Leslie, I tried. It's not my fault. Blame him, please.
No, wait. Let's hit one more thing and then we can get out.
Let's see.
I'm okay. Abby is asleep.
All right. I guess we'll call it. Good deal.
Well, one thing,
No,
John,
okay.
we can get into the combine stuff a little more.
Okay. What
What was your time?
492?
Take a guess.
Oh, I just said it.
You were wrong. So
Was it in the fours?
yeah, it was in the fours.
I was about to say.
Realistically, let me tell you what I think realistically healthy my time would have been, and then you can guess based on how bad we're talking about it. I think realistically, a realistic time for me would probably be mid 4.7s, and if I ran the race of my life, a low 4.7 or 4.69.
4.69 would have been like the dream of all dreams.
Yeah.
Now, how would, before you say your time, how would a 4.75, because you said mid sevens, how would that
Average.
stack up against? That's average
Very average.
for a tight end.
Not bad, not good.
So what is like a, just because it's fresh, what does the Travis Kelce run?
I think
it
he was
a
a
4.59.
No, I think it was a 4.6 low. It was close.
Travis
Yeah,
Kelce's not the most athletic.
I agree with this, but that sucks to hear. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hear stuff like that, you know?
Daniel, he was better than that comment. So like if that makes sense. Like I don't know, without like trying to like hype you up, like he was better than that comment.
So what were you, 4.94?
4.89.
Maybe 4.92 is your first one.
No, that was my second one.
Your second one. Okay,
Yeah,
so I wasn't wrong. I
hit the 20-yard mark on the first one. I was like, oh boy. And then I didn't get like a text or anything from anybody that said you're good. And so I was like, shoot, I guess I got to run again. And then the second one was even worse. So
yeah, Kelce was 4.61. A 40-yard dash isn't like the make or break for a tight end, but like you just can't be too slow.
most of the combine stuff, it's just you have to be in a certain range.
Just checking boxes.
Yeah.
Now, would the 4.89, that's not in that range?
Big red flag.
That's crazy. I think that's, I mean,
4.79.
not saying that because you're on here, but I think that's stupid.
It is dumb, dude. And like looking at the stuff they evaluate for, it's really dumb. Like a lot of people making the decisions don't know how to watch football and don't know like what a good football player is. But it's also part of the business. Like there's plenty of quarterbacks that might have a shot that are under 6 feet that will never, ever, ever see the light of day. So just it is what it is.
Kyler Murray.
Well, he's a freak athlete, so that's why he's
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees was like 6'1", but yes.
Russell Wilson.
Another freak athlete.
Right there.
He's not as freak of an athlete.
He's like 35 now, dude.
Yeah. Me and Daniel had this argument though a lot. Like when he was around this, like, he would say all the time, like the combine doesn't really matter for like how good you are as a football player, and like I get it. I don't disagree with him, but it is the numbers that they use, and like I think you should train just for the combine and not, and like we would have. You remember having this argument over and over again?
Yeah, it's funny because I've come closer to your point and you've come closer to my point. So we're kind of meeting in the middle on it.
There's a guy, I don't know what his name is. It was in the 90s where he was a linebacker and he just trained for the combine. And this was like when the combine was blowing up. Mel Kiper was making a name for himself, all this stuff. And like for like every since he was a freshman in college, he just tried to be good at the combine stuff. Not like did football and then did combine after that. And he like had amazing numbers, like did like 35 reps in the bench press, was a 4.58 as a linebacker, 6'3", 240, all this stuff, and was a terrible football player. But his combine was so good that like he went like number 3 overall. And he was a terrible football player.
Yeah.
But because he was a decent football player in college, and then he had state-of-the-art numbers, right? Or off the chart numbers in the combine, he got drafted that high, and he was terrible.
The combine sets you up for success, but your skill as a football player is what keeps you. So
that.
Like you said, that's like the interview for the job. Okay.
Yeah.
Silly example, but you know what I'm saying. They've already read your resume. They know who you are, but that's like the face to face. Like let's talk to this guy kind of thing.
Dude, one of my favorite combine things, not anymore, but it used to be. Guess how many bench press reps, Daniel, if you know, don't say it. If you don't know, then you can guess. Guess how many bench press reps Christian McCaffrey did in the combine. Now, to give you a reference point, Christian McCaffrey is probably my exact same size right now. But obviously he runs much, much faster and jukes much, much faster. But guess how many bench press reps with 225 he did.
I'm going to say 32.
I want to say it was low. I want to say it was like 9 or something.
It was 10.
Yeah.
10 reps. One of the best running backs in the NFL. Nothing.
Dude, his chest and arms are huge.
Like he's muscular. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like he doesn't look like he's anything, right? It's not like Xavier Worthy out there. And then another funny one. This doesn't mean anything for anything, but it's just funny. Guess how many bench press reps Kevin Durant did at the NBA Combine? The NBA Combine is 185. It's not 225. It's 185.
Oh, Kevin Durant, he got super long arms, so the reps are going to be hard.
Wow. Yeah, I mean 185. You know, it's not super. I think he's like 7 feet tall, so he's big, just big guy, right?
I think this one might surprise you.
All right, let me hear it.
I'm going to say 27.
You're really close, man. You're really close. It was 0. He's the only person to never do 1 rep at the combine. All right, Brock, you are bad at evaluating people.
Well, I thought for sure. I thought for sure. Since
I don't know if I can do 27 reps with 185, bro.
Dude, shut up. Yes, you could. Don't even start.
I'm 100% willing to bet Daniel can't do 27 reps with 185.
No chance.
And it would be close. I'm telling you right now, it would be really close.
I don't know if I could do 20. I know I could do 15 for sure.
Think Kevin Durant is stronger than you looking at him?
Dude, I thought it was going to surprise.
He looks like a Holocaust person.
He does, for sure.
0.
That's
I'm actually surprised though that he's the only one. Like nobody else has done that. I would figure there would be more that couldn't do that.
Maybe he's the only one that tried.
Maybe he's the only one on record. I mean, why would he try? Just because it's funny?
I shouldn't have ran. Like,
Yeah, you
you
should
make
have ran.
decisions when you're young.
Maybe that's the difference between going first and second. Maybe Portland would have picked Kevin Durant had he been able to do one rep at 185
Maybe.
instead of Greg Oden. Greg Oden did a couple reps at 185. Let me tell you, you don't need your knees on bench press. If you had squats with 185, Greg Oden's a big zero. But
I've got something we can end on.
Okay. I got a fun workout I want you guys to try after this.
Okay, well, you say the workout first, so that way we can actually end on what Brock's saying.
Okay. Every 3 minutes, okay, for 5 rounds, 15 minutes total. Every 3 minutes, do 20 bench press with 50s, and then max cal bike.
Oh my gosh.
It's not. No. It's not whatever you're thinking. It's not that. It's a steady state. You can't sprint, dude. You're doing it for 5 rounds. It's not a sprint thing. It's just steady state.
Right with bike erg or echo?
Echo bike.
Well, then it needs to not be called max cals because max cals implies a sprint.
It is max cals. No, see this difference. This is a football player mentality. It's 5 rounds. It's never stopped. The second you get done with those 3 minutes, you do your.
You're saying you want max cals by the end of 15 minutes.
So you do 20 bench press, right? In the remaining time,
yes,
you bike.
Yes.
At the top of 3 minutes, you do 20 bench press again.
I understand.
All right, and then your score is how many cals you have after 15 minutes.
Thank you. You said max cals. I thought that meant max cals in each round, so that you're just killing yourself. You should have said your time.
You can do that.
Max cals at the end. Then
yes, it's total cals. Total cals.
Thank you.
Total cals. You're hung up on the word max. You can't hear max without thinking.
Words mean things, man.
Dude,
I'd like you guys to try that. I'd like you guys to try that, though. I'd be interested to see the score you guys can do on that.
20 bench with 50s, max 5 in the remaining time, every 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I think 150 is a good score. I think 200 is an elite score.
Okay.
Well, so you
can math that out however you want to, Daniel. I would plan on not having the same amount of time every single time.
Yeah, because your first round, you're gonna probably have, I don't know. I'm breaking that for sure. Starting early.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go unbroken unless you're confident you can do unbroken the entire time. I wouldn't do it. I'd break from the start. I'd go 12-8.
Yeah, because the 50s is that's that weight range.
I'm gonna go unbroken until it rides.
You know what I mean? But 50s, that's the. If it was 70s, it's like no.
It's a different workout. It's a different workout if it's 70s. Not.
No question, you're breaking. The 50s is one of those. It's like
that's too many reps for 70s.
Could go unbroken, but you need to break.
How long of a rest do you give yourself?
Between the bike and benching again?
No, if you were to like break the sets up benching, how long of a
10 seconds. So you do 12, sit up. One more. Then go. Hey, bike.
All right, Brock, we're ready.
So this might be really stupid, but it's something that's been on my mind since the Super Bowl, specifically the halftime show, and it can kind of tie into Christianity or being a follower of Christ, standing up for what you believe in. So, there's all the skepticals or all the whatever people, all the Karens, and then there's all the other people who are like,
what are we talking about?
Well, they're like, oh, he was doing all this stuff to point out pedophilia, and he was doing all this to talking about Kendrick Lamar, whatever. Like all these were different signs, which that's cool if that's what he's doing, whatever. But here's my problem. If he was doing, and they do it all the time, but if he was doing that to point out child sex slavery, child pornography, pedophilia, blah, 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 blah. If he's doing that to point all that out, you are an idiot if you think that he's not doing that for publicity. And the reason why I say that, the same way with being a follower of Christ, if you really cared about those kids in that specific situation, since they're talking about pedophilia, if you really cared about those kids, you wouldn't hide it in a song and use metaphors and use this and that. Like, if you really cared about them, you would stand up and you would say what you've got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't sugarcoat it. Like, you would say, hey, this person's doing this. These people are doing this. And I understand that in Hollywood I say I understand. I mean, I don't know, but I would assume if this is deep and as dark as people say and think that it is, you would probably be risking your life if you did that. But on the same token, if we really, as Christians, if we really cared about people, we would probably go at longer lengths to tell them what was coming for them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a statement. That's not really a question to end on. But that's actually not a question at all. But that stuff like that, it just really pisses me off that, like, yeah, I guess you're doing a good thing if that's what you're doing. But let's be real. And why you got to sugarcoat it? If you really cared about the kids, you would just out it. You would just say what you had to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that's been on my mind, but I've thought about that so much this week. It's crazy. But again, same way as being a follower of Christ. Like if I really cared about people like I'm supposed to, I would tell a whole lot more people about Jesus now. You know?
Yeah. Whenever you frame it that way, that's when it hits you in the gut.
Did you watch Sound of Freedom?
So good.
No, Daniel. It's a Christian
Dude, you
movie.
need to.
I don't watch a lot of movies, man.
You don't.
That one will change your life.
It's sad, man. Like it hurts you. I think Miranda would love it.
It had me ready to go bust down doors.
Okay, well,
It made me feel helpless, but yeah, Brock, you should watch Priceless if you like that movie. Sorry, kid. It is a good movie. It makes you feel feelings. You should watch Priceless, Brock, if you like that movie. Yeah, it's kind of along the same line. Leslie actually, it's like one of her favorite movies, and we watched it, and it's really good. You would like it.
Okay, going back to our original topic, this will be the end. This will be the question for next week. Each and every person that watches this, it's a personal question. Think about this week. What are the things that we do in our regular day, in our everyday life, that are not putting us closer to the Lord, and how you're gonna strive to change that.
All right, I'm with it. Let's just guilt trip our audience. I'm with it. So to Kenneth, Bernie, and Leslie. Now, I know it's just you three. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys got. I want to hear from them too.
No, well, now you're really guilt tripping our
Yeah,
audience.
no. Like, let's do. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. Okay, let's just turn this into a good old youth group. Okay, the 6 of us.
There you go.
Unless more people show up. And then Daniel will say, "You're not welcome here. You can come on the next one."
What did I say?
I'm just joking. All right, everybody. If you have comments that you want us to talk about a topic, put it in the comments. I think we should do like we have a question of the week. I think we should all do a workout, and then we'll talk about that workout. That'll be the first thing we talk about instead of small. Like that'll be our small talk, and then once we're done talking about it, we can go into our subject.
We just make our own workout, or what?
Oh, I mean, 1 week Daniel can make it, 1 week Brock can make it, and then 1 week I'll make it, and we just all do it. And it's got to be something that we all can do, right? I'm not gonna put some CrossFit workout that Daniel's not gonna do. You know what I mean? Just a workout. You know what I mean? And then we'll all do the same one. We'll hit it the same one. We can do times, weights, whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I can do that.
Cool, man.
Run a 10K.
This week, is it going to be the bench?
That's Brock's workout. Run a 10K. Yeah, this week can be that one.
All right. So you want to set a day to do it?
No. Just do it during the week. No. Just do it during the week, and then that's what we'll start the show with, and then that way we don't have 4 different topics of not the topic. I realize I'm at fault for 75% of that, but yeah, you know what I mean. That way we can get back on the topic sooner.
It's cool.
Okay.
Good with that.
All right, guys. Till next time, we appreciate all of you.